Hello, it's Jesse here. We got the 1940 Harley on the lift, the big twin flathead. Anyways, we're getting ready to do the top end here. So, starting off, we mocked up the primary side here a little bit. Now, I'm going to run an inner primary and outer primary covers, but for this purpose, we just threw the stuff on here quick, so we'd be able to turn the motor over easily and everything. So, and we'll go over the primer and all that stuff later down the road, but as of right now, it's kind of sitting how it will look for right now before we put those covers on. Now, according to procedure or whatever, the rod here for the clutch arm here needs to be pulled out about right here so it can clear the primary covers. So when it comes off, it is at an angle here straight, and then it kicks inward so it can run straight and true to the clutch pedal here. And then of course some fancy things we're going to be running. We're going to be running a belt drive, obviously you can see here, hopefully if this all works out well, but this will be like an upgrade for the bike. And then 1940 had a different style clutch hub and stuff, but this is the 41 and later style with the fingers and stuff in it instead of it was a whole different design. It's hard to explain it, but anyway, so this hub that's on here, we're going to be running a 10 finger hub, and we're going to hope that's going to turn out, because I think it's neat looking, and it'll give me a nice flat, easier to true plate here when we go to set the clutch up, hopefully, in theory. So then anyway, going forward here, we're going to be doing the top end here, hopefully, next. So we do have the pistons and the cylinders sitting here. When I got these, the pistons were fitted to the cylinders. What that means is they've already been honed out and cross-hatched and everything. Yeah, ready to install pretty much. And like in one of the last videos, we talked about the piston ring sizes. Of course, this is the Molly type Harley Davidson ones, and it's a later one here. It's for the 74 inches and bigger overhead valves, but it's the same size on an 80-inch flathead. We talked about that before. They're ready to go. We'll fit the rings, of course, just to make sure. And then they'll be ready to, hopefully we can get it running here soon. So talking about the clutch hub and stuff I was mentioning, to kind of explain a little bit, this is what the 40 style and older looked like. So this is the discs, of course, and then there was like a four bolt deal that went through here, and it had roller bearings or roller ball bearings on it, and then a hub bolt and stuff here like this, and then there was like a cork seal and stuff here too, but it didn't have as much. They upgraded it because in 1941, when the 41 through 84 style clutch, it went on for a long time. It was a 3-finger style and then the rest of them, for the 10 studs, the rest of them were just guide rods. But and then the discs were a lot better, more coverage, more plates were larger. They actually put like buffer. I don't know if you can see this picture very well, but they put like buffers on it so it wouldn't slap around and stuff. But anyways, and then there was the flex plate thing, and then there was a 10 spring outer plate here with the retaining piece. A lot better design. So anyway, and it'll work the same way. It's just because the transmission, it all hooks up the same way on the transmission. So if you're gonna put one of these in, this is the one to go with. The better clutch assembly. So when running a belt drive here, this is a BDL belt drive system for 54 and older bikes, because it's the tapered shaft here in the front. But anyways, when you're setting up the belt, you want it to be able to turn the belt at like 90 degrees without being able to go past 90 degrees, and that's where your good tension's at. So by doing that, we ended up having to have the transmission all the way forward in the plate. And the way that the plate is designed, there's no like left to right movement on that plate. So we're pretty much ready to tighten the transmission down. This is where it'll sit, even when we do put the inner and outer primary covers on. The engine. One of the last videos we were talking about we put the engine in and stuff, and we ran the bolts through. In flatheads, the bolts come in from the bottom up, and the nuts are on top of the castle nut, and they get the cotter pin that goes in here. We got to tighten these down yet, and then put the cotter pins in yet, but we do have these set up just like they're supposed to be, and then we'll check. And there's a circle hole, of course, and there isn't much left and right movement, but we'll check all that. But because you want this to be in line, of course, but there isn't much room to do that anyway. Same with the front here, and off to the side here where the generator cradle sits, there's a special nut and lock tab piece in there. It falls into a certain groove in that case half right there, and then that's all tightened down. And we're pretty much, I wanted to cover that because we didn't really talk about that in any of the other videos yet.
And I think we have to torque those before we put the cylinders on, so we put wrenches in there.
Right, so this, with doing the top end, now that you brought that up, but with doing the top end, we got to have this all tight, and then doing the top end, we put the pistons on, of course, slide the cylinders down. We don't tighten this down yet because we have to true the intake manifold and have it all line up. And then when doing that, then it moves the cylinders around. And
what little they move.
Yeah, they move a little bit, and then when we have that as a group, we're able to tighten these down. That's how the book says it. We're going to try to do this like we're supposed to, and well, we're going to learn, and we're going to find out what happens here when we get forward on this part of it.
Yeah, because it's plumber fittings.
Yeah.
Not like the shovel head with the O-rings.
Yeah, so plumber fittings, it's got like a plumber nut that you'd see on like a sink. And I might get that out later because we'll be doing that part coming up probably too as well. I'm not sure how far we'll get in this video, but that's what will be coming up. So working on installing the seat post seat spring here. So it goes down in this hole, of course. We got this bushing fitted, and we needed to put the zircon on, which is it's a 67.5 degree cadmium plated grease zirc, like what it was back in 1940, and it's a 90 degrees facing this direction to the kicker side of the bike. And now we're going to lube up the seat post spring and slide it down in there. So installing the spring seat system here, we want to be able to put a nice grease on here that has like marine type, where it's like really pervious from keeping like water and moisture and stuff building up or whatever. So we got some in this grease gun here. So we're going to cake it in there really nice and thick through there. And then we'll get ready to put it in. So that's the best way to do this here. I don't have a tub. I'd rather use a tub maybe, but okay, we got it all loaded up. We're gonna like work it into the spring grooves there. Make sure it's all really nice and penetrated in there. And then of course that rod down there is gonna get some grease on it too, and we want that. That's kind of another reason. This is the only way you can get grease in here to these components, because the grease zirc up there on the top we just showed you, that does not get down to there. It just lubes this part of it. So we're going to start off with a nice start here with this. So we're just going to run it through here like this. Jeez. Yeah, but anyway, this is the way you want to do it.
Get it all worked in. Get it all filled.
Yeah.
I'd rather have too much than not enough. It's a little extra on there. That's okay.
All right. So when we go to install this, there's like a notch in the bottom here. And it goes off to the back left of the bike when you're looking forward. So we'll line that up. It will be able to go right through the hole that's in the frame.
Put some more up in there. There you go.
All right, that looks good. All right, so now we're going to put it in there. Just run it down in there, of course, and line up that groove that goes into the frame. You'll be able to feel it when it goes in. There it went. All right, just like that. Now we just put the lock washer and nut and stuff on there. It's kind of hidden under there, so you can't see it very well. But anyway, just tighten it down until it pretty much stops. You don't want it to come loose, and that lock washer that's on there is going to keep that from happening.
That's why that flat is on there, so that when you tighten it up, it doesn't just keep spinning in there.
Yeah, otherwise you'd have a heck of a time tightening it up. Okay, so on the cylinders here, getting started here anyway, the top end. So anyways, the cylinders here, like I said, they were fitted. They're the 13-fin, 80-inch cylinders. And anyways, fitted means that they're, of course, like I was just saying a little bit ago, that the pistons are, the bores are honed and fitted to these pistons. And these are exact, exact copy. That's probably the best way to say it. Of the original style, it has the reinforcement brace in there and everything. And according to these pistons, you're supposed to set them up just like the book says. And with these being in there, we measured our rings. They come out to 16 thousandths clearance. Ring gap clearance. And these are the Harley 74-inch rings, like I was talking about. A different ring set came with this group, and they measured the same as these. But the oil ring was different or something. I didn't want to use that oil ring. So this one's got a 3-piece oil ring. You'll see that coming up. But anyways, it's a better set of rings. And I guess I was going to say the book says it says to kind of keep it tight or whatever according to what the book says, but
these pistons aren't the same.
But the pistons aren't the same as the old original styles. Yeah.
These are made by JCC, which is, it's probably a thinner wall, and I mean it's to the same kind of construction, but this metal will probably expand at different rates than what the original pistons did in the day. That's what everybody says.
Right.
So we're just going to take for granted that when they said this was fitted with these pistons, all you have to do is assemble and go. So that's what we're going to do.
And we're right within the window with how these rings measure out anyway. Right. So, yeah. And we'd rather have it a little on the loose side maybe if we are, and be able to run it.
Don't want to gall it up.
Yeah, we don't want to gall it up or regret having it a little bit looser when we do have a problem down the road. So I think we're ready to move on to putting this together. Otherwise, we're going to drop some oil inside here first, and inside where the generator goes in there, get some nice oil right away. But other than that, we'll be working on that here pretty soon. All right, we got the bolts here all secured. We torqued them down to 40 foot-pounds. We got to line up the holes with the slots and the casting nuts yet, and run the cotter pins in that one and the two back here yet. And we put a little bit of oil down in there, so we're getting ready to start putting the top end on here pretty quick. So this one looks like it needs to rotate. It's right on one of the lands. What's that one look like over there?
I don't see a hole. No.
Okay, we're gonna work on that quick here, and then we'll put the pins in and ready to start.
This one does.
Ready to start putting the pistons in the cylinders.
This one lined up.
Okay.
Oh, there's this one. Where's the cotter pins? guess you could do it this, or we could have turned them sideways. Well, no, because the head's got to go in there.
Yeah, the head goes in there, and it would be a lot better of a fit. You can do it all which way ever you want, but I think that's how we're gonna do it. That's how we did the. It's kind of how we did the transmission one down there. We ran it. Looks like from what I can see here, we pulled it up across the top of the bolt, and then we folded it along the bottom of the nut, just like you did there. Yep. Yep, just like that. There we go. Good enough. With a little history on this motor, when we rebuilt it, of course, painted the blocks here for the tappets. I painted them black. The books look like they originally were like silver or white or whatever. I've seen and heard white, but I really didn't like how that sounded or looked. so I decided to go with black, like a lot of people do with their, rebuilds and their shovel heads and pan heads and stuff. And then also the oil pumps. We got a primary pump and we got a scavenge pump here. We did both them pumps in black. This is a 41 and later pump because it has this extra vein right here. And the 39 and 40 pumps were flat on the front here. So it has a different oil pump. Along with when the rebuilt motor that we have out there, the video, it shows an image of a 4 vein pump drive in there. So puts out a little bit more volume. And it's more like volume, it's not so much pressure with these pumps. And right over here in this back here, there's a breather that goes up inside there. I painted that cover black as well, but it looks kind of nice like this. And the cylinders are going to be black. I mean, it'll look really good together, I'm thinking. So we'll see how it looks when we're done. Alright, we started putting the rings on. We got the oil ring assembly. It's like a top ring and a middle ring and a bottom ring, of course.
Here's where the expander connects right here. You got to make sure that that's not overlapped. It'd be really hard to do that the way these are. The ones that wafer the other direction are real easy to overlap these. And then they'll pump oil if it is. This one could too if you could get it to overlap, but it won't overlap because this square piece will not fit into this square piece, so it just don't fit, which is really good. These are really nice rings. Then you take the top scraper and you move it over here about an inch or so away, and then on the lower one, you move it over here about an inch or so away, just like here and here, a little over an inch. And don't line it up with the hump if you can, because on the hump, on each one of them humps, I'll show you, on each one of these humps, there is a catcher. Okay?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, in my way of thinking, I don't like to have this gap on half on and half off that.
The scraper gap.
Yeah, scraper gap, yes. I want it off of there.
In that valley, you want it to cover up over the top of the valley.
It'll catch behind it otherwise, and it won't expand correctly. There we go. There, right there in the middle.
Right.
And that way, when I put the tool on it to to compress them. It ain't going to catch on that behind it
Oh.
and cause it to, because if it digs down behind, if the corner digs down behind it, it might wedge down behind this and hold this all out and not rub up and down. It's got to float. And this will compress a lot more than this. That's what that expander is all about, to compress. So a lot of people don't understand the compressing thing.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're on to the other rings.
Now we got it. You always start at the bottom and work your way up. So now we're going to do the second ring. Now there's different kinds of rings. Okay. If there's an inside bevel, the bevel goes up. If it's a square ring, it don't matter. If it's a pointed ring with a bevel on both sides, there'll be a dot and it'll tell you which side's up because it'll be a taper. So this one has an inside taper right here. Just a little bit of a taper. So this side goes up, and there is no dot on this ring. And so, oh, there it is too. There's a dot right there. By golly. There it is, a dot. So we're going to just put it in that way. I'm going to... Boy, these rings are got some compression. Okay, now this one, there's a dot right there. I don't know if that's a real dot. Looks like it.
But it has no bevels.
But it's no bevels.
So
I'll put it this way anyway. I'm going to get my ring compressor. Ring installer. Okay, so now that's where this top groove is. So the next groove, we can't stack these, so this one is going to go over here. And this one is going to go over here. Like that.
There we go. We got one more to do, and then we'll put them in the cylinder here.
So now I want to look at this one. Points are up. Yep. There you go. There is no either side on these, so here's where that is.
You just gotta get one in the bottom of that thing and one on top of it.
Yep, you start with the lowest ring first. And you got to get it in there, and then you just kind of go around here like this. Just like that. Pretty easy to do. Find the separating again. There. Okay, this one's over here, so I'll put this one over here. That's what I'm looking for.
A little bit different set than the piston rings we put in the Norton a while back, but
pretty close though.
lid. Here's the gap right there, right?
Right here.
Yeah.
And here's one. It's kind of close. I'll move it a little.
But they don't overlap.
No, they don't overlap. There, that's kind of far away. There it is. And this one is right here. that's pretty good. I'll go one more groove. There. That's good. It's a good inch or so. Okay. Just important part that it don't stack and things together.
Yeah, so what were you saying about this other? You were going to say something about that?
What?
The gap and why you picked the top there?
Well, the points are both facing up on that piston and this piston. And then these grooves you never set on top of one of the lumps because there's a ledge on the back side of this that holds these rings, top and bottom, out. And there is a chance that if you put this ring like this, if I can get it to move like that, if you get it like this, there's every possibility when we compress it that it could take the corner or point of this and get it like interfering with that lump back there. So I don't like that. I like it to be in the open if you can. So that way, when we compress the ring, it's both ends are sitting on a land, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, second ring. Dot goes up. Oh, come on now. Really?
It went in the top groove?
Yeah. There it goes. And this is the top groove. Now this one does not have a dot on either side, so it don't matter. So it's considered a square ring. If it's a square ring, it just goes on. There it goes. Okay, so where's our gaps? There's our gap 1. There's our fill. Gap 1, gap 2. Gap 2, gap 3. There we go. Okay, rounded side and a sharp side. Sharp side always goes to the thrust or to the out.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I
let's
like to put these
got to do some oiling here, and then we'll be able to.
points down.
Yeah, we'll be able to set this these pistons in the cylinders here now. We got the other one done as well, and we got the pin kind of started in that one. So, all right, on to our next step.
Now we're going to come over here. I'm going to wrap this. Do not want to drop a ring in there.
Yeah, the retaining ring things, piston pin ring.
Yep. Got something lay over that?
Not offhand. There we go.
Sharp edge out. Okay. Up here then. Come on. I hate this old tool. It's about wore out. It's just not a very good tool. There it goes. Put it down. There, tight.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got that. Okay.
Cool. All right, we're gonna do the rear one first, of course, because if we do the front one, stuff's gonna be in the way, and there ain't much room here. These big cylinders. So we're just oiling the rings now, and we're gonna get ready to put the ring compressor on.
I'm gonna pour a little oil on this. Same kind of oil that's in the bottom end. Not a lot, just enough to give the skirt a taste. And it's gonna sit a while, so
Yeah. So our goal is, or what we're shooting for, is that
so
maybe
I put some ring in that groove, so I'm gonna turn this around for a little bit, and then we'll reset these.
I'd like to be able to get this thing running in the spring. Break it in when it's nice
It'll
and cool
sit for a
out.
while now. And this will help the ring compressor slide.
Yeah. And while we're waiting on the painted parts, yeah, we're putting them. Gonna try to get this going forward some more here. So. All right. There we are. We got one cylinder on. It was quite the thing. We couldn't really record it. We'll work on the front one here. We'll try to record that one, but we had a heck of a time. So, anyways, yeah, let's move on to that one now. We're gonna put the nuts on here, so this doesn't move when we go to rotate. So.
Right.
All right, we're going to roll it over and start with the piston on the bottom, and just like last time, but this time, the cylinder is got resistance with the piston, and it's going to help us, not fight us, because it's going to actually maintain and retain where I rotate the motor to, which is nice this time. Yeah, there you are.
Okay. Roll it over. Spread it a little.
Okay.
You can come up a little bit now, so I can get my finger, because we got a lot more room.
Oh yeah, we do.
Bring it up.
Okay.
Bring it up so I can get my fingers under it.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's try this. No, it fell again.
Let me have this way.
It is time now, huh?
I guess so. Okay, let's see if we can't get this slide down on. Oh, watch my fingers. Whoa, 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 whoa. You are not gentle at all. Let's see if we can't use this one. This one's got more of a deal. Okay, roll it down a little. Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Hold it now. Now you're gonna, okay, I got this now. You're gonna have to roll it up. 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 Keep going.
Stop.
Hold it. Just raise it up. Whole thing. There. Whoa, there we go. Careful.
Don't do anything.
Oh yeah, you are. You're hitting the piston. With the... Here, you hold this. Get that off of there. Don't whip it out. Okay, I got this.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Rotate it down.
Wait a minute, no.
Wow, there we go. Well, that was a struggle, and we got to
roll it over. Up. Don't care which direction. There it goes. Okay, that's good.
All right. Now I'll put the nuts and washers on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got these nuts down here. We can't tighten this up yet until we get the intake on here now, and because all this is a little bit adjustable, like I was saying before in the beginning, we want to be able to have
Get the plumber for these nice and squared and tight.
right, because we want that to be sealed. And I made a special tool to check for, make sure we have a seal, like a pressurizing tool. And also there's some clips and some pieces that go underneath a couple of these. I don't remember which ones. I know there's one for the advance and retard wire over there for the distributor on that side. And some of these are going to be really hard to get to with something to tighten these up with. So we might have to use crow's foot or dog bones or something in here, special tools. Yeah, especially the one back on the rear cylinder on the right side of the bike. That was really buried in there, along with this one in the front here. That's really buried too. So anyway, there's the top end so far. I guess we could put heads on if you wanted to. But we have to...
No, we gotta watch valves go up and down and set your valves.
Oh, that's right. We gotta do the timing yet. We can't really do that until this is torqued down. So we gotta get the manifold, I believe, on here.
Yep.
So let's work on that, I guess.
Manifolds next, and then we torque the cylinders down, and then we set the valves.
Right. So the manifold here, this is the what the Flathead one takes. The plumber fitting we were talking about, and it's got like a special brass seal that goes in there. Now they make different seals and stuff, but I'm gonna try these out. If these don't work, I guess we have to get some different seals. They're called peak seals, and they're more better, I guess, at sealing or whatever. But anyway, we're gonna try to run a Bendix on this bike. So this is a special manifold for a Flathead, big twin, that can accept a Bendix here. But the problem with this is the Bendix won't mount right to this because the cylinders are huge, and then the carburetor doesn't fit inside there like a Linkert would. So I had to make a special extension adapter that'll fit. It'll bring it out farther.
I'll have to put a gasket on between each side.
Yep. But for right now,
yeah,
we got to put this on first. So we'll work on doing this. So what we do here is we just put the fittings on first, of course, and then there's a taper that goes into the groove there, that goes inward, and then we put them both on, and then there we go. That's kind of how that goes together. I probably shouldn't have done it that way, but
oh, I did it. There.
Okay, let's go ahead and try to put this on.
Did you try these nuts on these cylinders?
Yeah, I've tried this all before when we mocked it up a long time ago, but
I want to get one side or the other to start.
and then we gotta wiggle it around till we get it to start. So I mean, it won't move much, but it'll move some.
This one's on. Okay, there we go. Now I got to do this one.
Right, I'll mess around with this and we'll get this on there. There we are. We got the intake manifold on there, and now I'm just gonna put my special homemade wrench here on here and make sure have it nice and tight. All right, that one's good. And then over here on this one, alright, that one's really good and tight too. Okay, now on to put my special pressure tester piece I made. So we'll go over there and do that. Here we go, we got this special tool on there and that I made up, and we're able to use this special little pump right here for doing rear shocks on a Harley. And I'm holding it here, and we're gonna run this up to 5 pounds real quick here and see what happens. There we go, I got it pumped up and we're sitting at 5 pounds right there, and it's maintaining. So there we go, that's good. And we can move on to putting the carb on or whatever we want to do next. Right now we're tightening the base nuts here, and they're really a pain in the butt to do, so we're going to work on that yet. There we have the Bendix on there, and we got that spacer I had made in here to pull it out, and it clears really well. We can actually get full pull out of the throttle here.
You need to have the screw forward.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Then we could get the full pull out of it. Got this mounted here so we can pull from the top. Unlike Linkerts, they pull from the side, so this is going to be a little bit different. And with running this, we have to set up the handlebars a little bit differently. We got to change out the twist grip for the from push to pull, right? Like he was saying, Linkert is pull required as push required, and the Linkert, of course, or this Bendix here, of course, is pull. Like, we'll have an accelerated pump. This might be pretty sweet. If this does not work, well, we'll go back and we'll take us all off and put something else on. Probably a Linkert or something that really belongs on here. But this looks good, and it's good carb, and I like them. That's kind of why I went with this. And it's nice and solid, so I won't have to worry about it moving around. And it looks like we're going to be able to clear the shift rod here too. We were doing some measuring and stuff. So anyway, it's going to come to the end here on this video. Probably we'll come back and we'll be setting the valve timing, because we want to be able to see these valves. So we're not going to put the heads on yet. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed everything so far in this video. There's more to come, and we'll see you again soon.